So welcome along to episode 6 of This is the Business. We have one of our own today, Egle, who has joined us in the last few weeks. We said we'd throw in at the deep end and get her in to do the next episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
So Egle, thanks for doing this and sitting down with me and having a chat.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, kind of how you've got to where you are now.
Yeah. So my name is Egle Valionyte. I'm recently joined Amden group with you guys. I haven't been here that long, but I do go way back in terms of how I fell into the role of social media management. It was something actually that wasn't even planned and on the books. I did it kind of as a side thing to get my module for maths, which was a level 5 maths that I needed, which was not something I planned on, but the social media course offered as an extra thing that you can add on to the course. And I was like, okay, we'll do that for the year. I thought, that's a good way to make a bit of extra money, and this was about 8 years ago. And it's something that I ended up going into social media management. I remember there was a personal development module and file management module, just loads of different things that it's such an underestimated skill. For example, file management is huge if you're going to be managing loads of social media content of different businesses. So that's one of them that I was till this day, I will vouch. Efficiency and organization should be at the top of your list, which is one of those underrated things that people overlook. And it's something that kept sort of drawing back in terms of people asking, hey, can you give me a hand with this, give me a hand with this, and it just sort of became a thing that kept pulling me back in. And then noticing since I've done the course 8 years, the demand in social media is just growing and growing, and it's undeniable the importance of businesses to have social media presence. So that's where we are here today, and I'm very proud to be now officially part of the Amden group and everything you guys represent. Really see you guys being very passionate about what you do, and this is the reason I wanted to join, because I feel like it's so important to be part of a good team, to really enjoy what you do. And I feel like I've grown already so much just by being here a couple of weeks, being around people who really are passionate about the economy, helping Irish businesses and supporting.
Yeah, and I think people will tell by your answer, you've definitely brought a sense of energy to the office, so it's been great having you in. But I suppose your background in itself, which you probably didn't touch on there, is there's a music element to your background, which is kind of a creative side, which probably lent into the creative side of social media as well.
Definitely. I even mentioned to Daniel before, I was the kind of sound editing aspect came in very handy in social media because you're editing, say even this podcast episode, editing the audio, matching the audio to the image, and all these little things. It really is crazy how everything is transferable. So the transferable skills have come very in handy in making sure it has that slightly better quality of content, which is important, but also it's important for businesses to realize it's not the only thing that's important. Human aspect to your content is very important too. So perfectionism can kind of sort of trap you rather than.
Absolutely. I find that, and I would have been told that over the years with different coaches and stuff that I had, is that perfection is great, but it can kill you,
it can be the thing that stops you from your
growth. And it does lead to procrastination then and all of that sort of stuff. I suppose what your role, obviously I know what your role is. I should know what your role is.
Yes.
But your role within Amden, I suppose, if you could answer this in kind of two ways, for people to understand, what is your role with Amden, and then I suppose how does that role differ from other agencies, I suppose, that you would have worked with or whatever else, because I think that's important for us as well to differentiate that.
Yeah, so I guess my role here is to support the branding of Amden. So that is kind of at the top of priority, but I will also be transitioning into managing other companies that we help with social media support and other aspects of business support and growth and operational systems, all of these HR kind of support. So for me, my job is to kind of try to reach the businesses there in terms of social media. Where do we need to go to find small businesses or growing companies too, and how do we say we are the guys for you? So I'm trying to kind of send a message of we are the one-stop shop for your business growth, and you don't need to go to multiple places. We are here to give you multiple services that you can get in-house. So and again, you guys have a huge experience of business going way back, so you have that kind of corporate and business experience to tie into everything that you do. So everything like ties in very beautifully, that any businesses that comes to us have the confidence to say, you know, we've been running business for a very long time. We've been through the ups and downs just like you. We can connect on that level. So there's like an element of trust, which I love. And then managing, back to the question, is managing other businesses' social media support, because I understand small businesses, when you're growing, you're wearing many hats as you go forward, and it's so important to kind of try to kind of be, it's okay to say, I am not maybe a social media person. I don't like the aspect of putting together captions, putting together content. I want to be able to focus on this is what I do, this is what I want to focus on, this is my business. Sometimes, you know, saying, hey, I need to reach out to a company to help me manage my social media. So this is where we come in, and I come in and support Amden and support
the clients. Yeah, and I suppose for us, and we would have discussed it yesterday, and even with Fionn from the last episode when he was up, it was trying to work out, yes, and I suppose you'll touch on that in the next question, but how important it is for social media for our customers, but at the same time, it's trying to build those operational systems around, and we're seeing a lot of stuff out there at the minute that social media agencies are talking about systems and business growth, and they're not talking about the operational stuff. They're not talking about, right, well, if you get 20 leads from doing social media, can your business sustain those leads? Can your business, you know, deliver on those leads? Can your business still maintain the quality that it's delivering with that new business that comes in? And obviously looking at budgets and margins and the return and stuff like that. So I think that's what's really differentiating from what we're doing. And I suppose that was kind of that question is, do you see it that it's quite different in the way that we still have the same principles, and you're going to run through some hints and tips on social media. We still have the same principles around social media, but it's backed with a compliance and an operational perspective as well.
Yeah. So again, back to what I was saying, most you guys would be like, hey, I maybe need to like social media support. It's the same with support in other aspects of Amden and the departments that are there. You could be very knowledgeable in the service or product that you're offering, but when it comes to scaling your business in a way that's going to be efficient and long term, that will make sense, and you can kind of see how the future is growing, and you have a confidence that I'm getting to my next year, I'm getting to my 5th year, and I know exactly which step we're taking to make sure that happens. And I think that's where you guys can come in to help you focus on the business journey that you're looking to take. And it's shocking, even when you guys did the Whitfield retreat episode, how much Whitfield retreat business model changed and completely transformed just by sitting down with you and say, you know, how do we turn this around? What else can we do with this amazing facility that you have to offer? And hey, corporate events, combining that with like a little bit of a reset for the company, a little bit of a bonding activity for the company. And I was like, it's just incredible what can happen from you guys having worked with so many businesses over the years.
Yeah, and it kind of boils back down to that whole thing of you know, we talked about it this morning earlier, and we might touch on PES today, but we're going to do a whole social media series on PES, but we just touched on it this morning,
and this is not candy, by the way. This is PES.
Yeah, or the football game. There used to be a football game called PES as well. But, so I have a philosophy: it's proficient, efficient, and sustainable. So be proficient at something, be efficient at it, but make it sustainable as well. But we talked about it with Fionn, and I've seen a couple of posts and different things on LinkedIn the last couple of days, and it's that vision and structure, and a vision without structure is just an idea. And structure without a vision is just an activity. So if you can't combine both, you're not going to get to where you need to get to. And I feel with a lot of people with social media, they may have the structure around where they want to go, but they're lacking that little bit of vision around it. And the other way as well, they've loads of vision but no structure. And I don't think if you're not combining the both in social media, you'll fail at it as well. And I think that's where we kind of come in. We look at it from the business perspective, and we try and drive it on with the vision and structure as well. So
I think this is the thing we need to remember, is like everything you guys are doing is like, even the Claire with HR support and recruitment services, she understands all of the employment laws. that's protecting your business from any potential issues down the line that can be basically the thing that could end your business. And that's what we're trying to prevent. So again, you have to understand you want to focus on your business and future growth, but there are certain things that you're just not going to know because one person can't know everything. And that's where it's important to kind of say, hey, you guys have been around for a long time and you can help me with making sure. Preventative.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the key word here.
Yeah. And it is that other word that we talked about it the other day. It was like, people just become reactive. Mm-hmm. They're just reacting the whole time. They're going, oh, I need to put up a post. Oh, I haven't put up a post in a week and I haven't done this. So I'm just reacting now because I haven't done anything.
It's overwhelmed as well.
Yeah, and it's becoming overwhelming. So if you're a little bit proactive, and I think that's what we're trying to bring to this for people with the likes of yourself coming on board and stuff. Obviously your expertise are there, but it actually helping customers become proactive as opposed to reacting and going, oh, I'm after seeing my competitors after putting up 3 posts this week and I haven't done anything, so I need to start doing something. But I suppose that kind of leads into, and we talked about this actually before we came on, but I know you would talk for 2 hours on advice to different people and really good advice. And it's actually something that we're looking to do for business owners, is maybe bring business owners in here and do some one-to-one sessions with them around social media. But if you had to try and condense that down into like, you know, a few little hints and tips for people on their social media, what would they be?
I would say, before I jump into a little bit more specific tips, I just want to say, like, the first thing that I noticed about having joined Amden is the efficiency of different kind of systems that you have in place to really kind of bring everything together, that you can focus on the activities and the creativity and all of that kind of stuff. I want to tie that into social media as well, is that the importance of organization, having your systems in place, really getting to know your systems. Again, with the operational systems you offer, it's not just social media, it's kind of like, can you make your business very efficient? Everything's in one place. So for me, I was like, efficiency at the top, organizational kind of pathways, workflow, so that you can kind of take the stress away. For me, that's what I noticed. I was like, I'm really enjoying the activities because there's a clear place I go to share files, share links, get updates that I need in a promptu manner. So there's a flow going. There's like, we've got so much done because you're able to get back in touch with me on Teams, and things like that. So in terms of tips, I would say, don't forget that you are human trying to connect with human on social media, hence the name social media. It's social and you're connecting with humans who are on their phones or on their laptops. That's the most important thing. So maybe like sharing your customer experience stories. So encouraging your customers to kind of maybe write up a testimonial. Removing the blocks of what you're offering in terms of the buyer experience. So from the moment they're learning about your business to deciding to make a purchase, whether it's service or a product, how many steps are in place that are actually blocks preventing them to make a purchase? I don't know. I don't know where you guys are based. I don't know how long the shipping is going to take. Have you got more than one location? There's so many different things in terms that people are going to be asking before they reach the arrival of making a potential purchase to whatever you have to offer. So that would be like the first thing to think about. AI is the theme of the word at the moment. It is not to be used as like the thing that replaces human experience. It's never going to do that because, again, you're connecting with people. People are becoming very good at reading content right now, of looking at, I would say, well, I know I work in social media, so I obviously notice the minute that's AI generated, the captions AI generated, there's a certain structure, there's a certain visual that's very obvious. I think it's actually turning people off of social media. So I've noticed myself sort of quickly scrolling through the content. I don't even want to see. I might know the business, but I don't want to see it. So it's just more personal observation that there's a part of me that still wants the human experience. So don't forget to use AI as a tool to support your everyday. Maybe get some content ideas, get a nice kind of headline grabbing from like ChatGPT, but like for your YouTube headline, for your caption, get a little bit of ideas, get a bit of structure to clean up some stuff. Get like video scripts of content ideas. So it's more about structure, but it's not to be replaced. Don't forget to put your own stamp of giving people a connection to you and your business. What was the final thing that I would like to say is, if you're not somebody who enjoys being in front of the camera, it is so important for people to connect to your business. Maybe if you have members of staff who don't mind being in front of the camera, who you think can confidently kind of share and just show your environments of the journey, what you guys are doing behind the scenes. People love to see that. So like, I think it's so important that people get so caught up with like, what should be the content idea? The content ideas are right in front of you the whole time.
Yeah.
And repurposing content. So
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, those are a few things that I would
yeah, there's a couple of things in there. But there's, and I know because we discussed it before this, and you know, we will go into in depth on some of those in other videos, but like there's a couple of things in there for me, and it's the AI one is really jumping out for me at the minute.
Huge.
And even this morning I was doing my usual 20-minute on LinkedIn, and I suppose there's two things to digest in that, and I've got very structured in the way that I use my social media. So
Daniel definitely.
Yeah. So I'll have a time allocation in the morning. So I was in at 7:30. You started at 8:30. So I know from probably say from 8 o'clock till 8:15, I'll spend 15 minutes on LinkedIn. I won't touch LinkedIn again then until maybe lunchtime, and I might do it before I go home in the evenings, because what I found before was I was getting sucked into it, and I was 40 minutes in scrolling and whatever else, and it just takes up so much time. But the one thing that's really standing out for me at the minute is customer loyalty and customer just buying into what you are, whether it be a service or a product. And if they're seeing an AI image, you're straight away, your trust and everything else has fallen
instantly.
But the thing about it is, that's what was the case before, but actually now it's starting to double down, is that the algorithms on the likes of LinkedIn and stuff are now actually spotting these and they're throwing them down the algorithm. So,
which I think is a good thing.
I think it's a brilliant thing, because there's stuff, the creativity and the personal branding will be the thing that sells your business forevermore. So I think the fact that before it was maybe the trust of your customers, but it's not just the trust of your customers anymore, it's actually the algorithms on the social media that's being affected by it. So just take the time, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the polished photo shoot you do of your product. It doesn't have to be
perfectionism getting in the way.
Absolutely. Like we're sitting here, I think we look quite professional sitting here doing our podcast. We've 2 lights that we bought. And
keep it simple.
2 stands. Keep it simple.
Don't overthink it. And I'll always ask yourself the question, what value am I bringing with this piece of content? And that's the most important thing. And just focus not on the follows, focus not on the likes. Those are important, but nowadays it's the reposts, it's the reshares, it's the how many people sent it forward to somebody else that they thought that this was a valuable piece of content. They were commenting all of these things and saving your post for later to read because they couldn't maybe read it in that moment in time. Those are your metrics that was a good piece of content.
Exactly. And like we mentioned it again as well, is that, you know, are people transacting? If you're selling a product, you're selling a service, are people transacting from the post and the time that you're putting into the social media that's going out there? And that kind of leads into that. One of our mantras is, if you're not measuring, you can't manage.
No.
So if you're spending a whole heap of time on social media, you're not getting you're not getting likes, or you're not getting reshares, or you're not getting whatever else. But is it actually benefiting your business? Are people transacting with you on your business? And you touched on a really good point, which is AI. And I think that whole AI, and I was proud of this when I came up with it the other evening. I was like, don't drop the AI, but use it as a tool. But critical thinking will never be replaced.
No.
Because I've seen it so many times where you sit with people and they come up with an idea and they come up with a vision for the business. They lump it all into ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT is telling them, oh, why don't you go down this route, or why don't you go down that route? They go, oh yeah, I never thought of that. And all of a sudden, their whole vision for their business is no longer their vision. No. It's an AI-based vision. Whereas if you actually switch some of that for actual critical thinking and tell your AI what you want, as opposed to asking it what you want, because you're the only person that knows what you want and knows where you want to go. So if your business has a vision, that vision can be money led, it can be personally led, it can be family led, it can be whatever else. AI is never going to know that. You're the only one that knows that. So definitely I would just chill on the old AI for a bit.
Chill on the AI, and if social media is really not your thing, again, we're here to support a certain service, social media management companies, anything like that is like, if it's not your thing, you know, you're like, this, I want to focus on my business, it's okay, but it is important to have a consistent online presence for trust. So don't forget that, like, not to post every 6 months, but like maybe have 3 consistent posts a week. And if you think that's not achievable for you with your own schedule, to look into outsourcing, things like that. But consistency builds trust builds potential buys, potential services. So that would be like the kind of breakdown.
And you're right, because that's the reason you do this. Unless you want to be a social media influencer, but then that's different. But if you just want people to interact with your service or your product or whatever else, exactly what you said there. And I suppose for me, it's kind of, you know, if we look at what people are doing now online, or I suppose not to bash other agencies, but every time you go on, because of the industry that we're in, you see these ads and it's, we've got a system to generate leads and we've got this and we've got that and we'll make it back. It's just like, right, okay, we've got 3 different packages now. One is a medium, one is a large, and I can see business owners going like, what is all of this? We do 2 simple things. We either help you be consistent online, we can help you run your Google ads, your Meta ads and everything else, that's fine. But first and foremost, we can help you be consistent online. But if you're happy enough to do it in-house yourself, or if you've got an Egle in-house that's there, but just needs a little bit of support around the systems and maybe the strategy and the structure and the vision of the business, we help with that as well. We will come in and help you with the structure, the strategy, and hand it over to a person in your business and let them run it. And that's what makes us different. We're not here to grab headlines. We're not here to sell you bullshit, but we're not here to sell you the bullshit that's out there. We're not here to tell you that we're going to get you 100,000 leads. I seen a great headline, and you'd have a good laugh at this. If you spend 600,000 on ads, you'll make 1.2 million, and you're like,
fantastic.
That's unbelievable. Like,
fantastic.
Where do I sign up? Like, that's unbelievable. Like,
could that money be used in other ways to resource within your business? Maybe if you sat down with us, you'd find out a little bit more to allocate.
If you spend all of that money and you get all of those leads, who's going to deliver the service and the product?
Who's going to deliver it? Do you have that to support?
And what's the margins and what's the, you know, the it's just it irritates me so much, because social media is such a strong part of every business, and it's a need in every business.
Awareness and authority.
100%. But at the same time, it's not the be all and end all of a business. An electrician still has to go out and be an electrician. A plumber still has to go out and be a plumber.
A good service and product still needs to be delivered.
It still needs to be packaged, it still needs to be delivered. So it is an essential part of a business. But for people that run social media, there's other parts of business that need to be concentrated on as well. But for you then, I suppose gathering all that together, and obviously we're delighted to have you on board, and I think you're
glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
So, if a real interview question, if you were sitting here or wherever it is in 5 years' time, what do you see as success for you?
Success first of all is happy businesses who are happy with what services we provide. That's probably at the top. It's very important. Like I said, I like you guys, and you're very passionate about everything that you do. And for me, that, like, I see myself being passionate about every task to be present. But in terms of 5 years online, that me being kind of present with everything I do and do it to the utmost of my ability to lead them to more prosperous businesses. Amden growing to a point where I am managing my own social media department. You know, managing higher budgets for social media ads, all this kind of stuff. Just kind of, this is kind of where I see it was like growth, prosperity, and support for businesses and their growth, and then Amden growing and me managing and training some other people down the line, and I feel like I am now making somebody else's career flourish, and how beautiful that is.
And I love that, because that kind of really ties in with both mine and Claire's ethos. Would we love to be sitting on a beach, retired and breaking it in? Absolutely, but money is not a motivating factor for me, which is a funny thing to say when you're a business owner. It's more around, I love the fact that I love what we do. And we were only discussing it when Fionn was up the other day. I love the fact that Fionn walked out of here having a structure and a plan and a
And
vision
excited.
and excited,
He was
literally
very
excited about his business. And I get to do that every day.
Yeah.
I get to work with people like you and my wife Claire
and more staff members to come.
and more staff. Yeah, we've another hire starting now in a couple of weeks, and we've David and we've Hazel, and the business has really grown, but it's grown into a business that I just love what we do. I love the fact that everything we do is based around compliance, is making sure that a business has the structures and the vision for how they're going to succeed. And then everything else, whether it be a website, whether it be a new AI tool, whether it be whatever else it is built around the fact that now they have a secure vision for their business going forward.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I really like that answer, that the fact that you're looking into the future, saying, yeah, I want to manage a team. I want to work with businesses, good businesses.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Support businesses that really want to grow, and we're here to help.
Yeah, exactly.
With that, it's a mutual relationship.
Yeah. So I suppose, like, call to action out of this is that if you're looking at this and anything resonates with you around social media or marketing, we brought Egle in to help us with our social media and to deliver not only for our own but to our clients as well. And whether it be someone that you need maybe a couple of months support to get it off the ground, or you need a structure or a strategy, or just what systems we use to implement our social media strategy, just reach out to us. We do a free 1 hour consultation, and you can either pop into us here, we can do it online, or we can pop down to you in your own place of work and have a chat. Egle, thanks a million for this.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I think people that listen to it will get real benefit from some of the hints and tips, and we'll do some more series on those around the hints and tips on that. So
I hope so. It's always important, like I said, to bring valuable content.
So what we've done is we've Woodfield's retreat are actually sponsoring This Is the Business going forward, so they're our sponsor. And we'll be looking for other sponsors going forward as well. But keep following, keep looking, keep liking and sharing, and do whatever you have to do. So yeah,
sharing, saving forward.
Yeah.